Hi, I'm Varun, and today I'll be talking about my movie theater going experience. Now, going to the movie theater is something that I like to do a lot and have always liked to do a lot. I remember when I was younger, I would never feel self conscious about going to the movie theater by myself, even though some of my friends would kind of look at me weird. So I kind of really started getting into going to the movie theater a lot by myself in college and then a little after college, but then COVID hit and that really messed things up. And I know we were all wondering during COVID whether movie theaters were going to survive, whether streaming was going to take over, and then theaters were going to become a relic of the past. But, I think last year, 2023, things kind of worked out for that aspect of things. And it really feels like we're seeing a resurgence of movie theater and film going culture, which makes me very happy. During COVID, it was often very isolating to go to the movie theater because you'd be the only person there and you'd be wearing a mask, and it just felt alienating. And the communal experience of watching a movie in an audience is something that is really powerful. And without that, watching movies isn't just the same. So, there was a bit of a bounce back in 2022 with two big releases that year, Top Gun Maverick and Avatar. But those really felt more like the exception to the rule than the rule. So, yeah, I mean, you can't really talk about this without dealing with the elephant in the room, which, of course, is Barbenheimer. Now, I've been kind of moderating my social media use for about a year and a half now, so I knew about the whole Barbenheimer meme, but I wasn't aware of how big it had gotten until the day that I actually went to the theater. So I decided to see both those movies on the same day because doing a double feature is something I often do at the movie theater, but I was not expecting the crowds there that were also doing the same thing as well, and it was just a great day. So that Saturday, the weekend those movies came out, I remember going to the theater, seeing people there. They were all in their costumes, the Barbie costume, or in the suits for the Oppenheimer fans, and it was just it felt really fun to see two brand new movies in packed audiences. It just felt like a watershed moment for the film going culture, and I think it's kind of really coming back, and I'm really happy about that because I think streaming, there's been a lot of great stuff on streaming, but right now there's just too much of it, and it all kind of looks the same. So I think people really want to go to the theater because they want to pick something. They don't want to waste hours deciding what to watch. They want to pick something and they want to commit to it even if it costs money. And especially now with the subscription services that the main theater chains offer, it's way more economic to go see multiple movies at the movie theater if that is something that you do regularly. So yeah, and obviously this comes in context of the strikes and the corporate mergers and all the other stuff that was happening at the time. So there was a noticeable gap between the big movie event of the summer and then the deluge of all the awards circuit movies that are being bombarded into theaters right now. And obviously, there's a lot of changes happening there. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like it finally feels that there's a real effort to make real movies by real filmmakers and actors who are really putting forth their best effort to keep this part of our culture alive. And I think COVID, was the defining experience of most of the people that lived through it, even though no one really wants to talk about it. So another thing I've noticed is that the period between 2016 to now, there's been a lot of social changes that have been reflected in the media landscape. And I think for a period of time there that it was kind of, watching a movie was, you were either like a good person if you liked this movie, or you were a bad person if you didn't like a movie, or vice versa. That was like a very common thread running in like social media, in film circles, and in film criticism as well. And I think like the success of Barbie has really kind of ended that because the worst thing you can do is like turn a movie into homework. I think like a movie should be fun, and like Barbie, whether you liked it or not, I personally I like some aspects of it. I thought some aspects of it were not necessarily my cup of tea, but again, I'm not the target market for it. But I think the success of that movie kind of proved that, that movie being successful at the same time that a movie like Sound of Freedom is being successful, it kind of proved that, the most important thing is entertaining audiences. And as long as you do that, you have a lot of leeway to put forward your message across. And I think especially now in these in the last month with all the movies coming out at the same time because the strike is over, a lot of people are having like wildly different reactions to the same movie without it being like a moral statement, which was really exhausting during a certain period in the COVID time and during the Trump era. But I think like the world is as divided as ever. But I think with all these social changes and historical changes that have happened in the last almost 10 years, I think we're at a really great point where there is more room for originality in movies, and there's also more diversity on the silver screen, which is great. But there's also room for free speech and differing opinions, and like everybody has their own marketplace, which I think is also healthy. I mean, at the end of the day, movies can't change the world, but they can entertain us, and that inherently has value. So, as a movie fan and as a movie theater fan, I'm pretty optimistic and happy about the state of things, which are in this particular aspect are a lot better than they've ever been. Thanks for watching.